Hey guys, today I'll be preparing this bed here for my tomato plants. Unfortunately, I'm already 3 to 4 weeks late, and that's because we had 3 storms passing through in the last month, with the highest gusts being registered at 86 knots. This is something we are not prepared to cope with here in Portugal. All over the country, people were struggling. Even my workshop gate got ripped off, windows broken, my marble tabletop gone, and that's nothing compared to the damage to infrastructures in Portugal. So, all in all, I was quite lucky. And as I had already planted my cherry tomatoes, the strong winds broke some of those too. So I had to put the other ones under shelter, and there's not much light there. So now I get really tall and weak looking plants. They've been in those pots 3 weeks longer than they should, but that's what I've got for this season. Probably the worst start of the season I've ever had, but these were atypical circumstances. So before I do anything else, I need to get rid of all these stinging nettles, and I'm going to use them to make some odorless fertilizer. Not that nettle tea that you usually make that really stinks, and if you put your hands in it, you don't want to be around people for a week. Let's get started. Okay, now that this is pretty much weed free, I'm going to open the holes for the tomato plants. I'm going to have 2 rows, one there, another one here. Eventually they will go to a trellis, but for now I'm going to plant them with bamboo canes. Okay guys, and now you can see here that the plants are way too big. They should have been transplanted probably when they're like this. This is this is a healthy plant. I like to put them on the ground about this size, but because of the storms for 3 or 4 weeks I had to keep them in pots, and these were sown earlier and they just grew too much. And then I brought them outside for a bit, and the storm came again, another one, and broke all the leaves. They don't look too good, but that's all I've got to work with now. Too late to start new seedlings. I already have some that I started in order to replace the mid-season ones, but well, look at that. Leaves are all broken, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. Mortgage lifter, first one. Okay, now Brandywine Suduth. This is one of my favorites, definitely on the top 3. Brandywine Suduth, Cherokee Variegated. This is Cherokee Purple Variegated. It's a variety where instead of potato leaves, they've got these leaves, and these white spots, this is not any disease. These plants actually have this discoloration on the leaves. I've always had that on every single plant I've grown for the last few years, and they do just fine. And of course, the third, Rosella Purple Dwarf tomato. That is an absolute beautiful tomato, guys. Tester, very good one, but let's go. Suduth. Cherokee Purple Variegated. Eva's Purple Wall. Look at the side of this thing. Owen's Purple. Right, so Goose Creek, and another Suduth. There we go. Right, another Cherokee Variegated. As you can see, I like to plant the same variety in different spots along the bed. That's so that I can find that maybe they like a bit more shade, a bit more sunshine, and of course that will be different according to the place where they planted on this bed. At the end of the season, I might take some conclusions or not, but at least I'll try it. Cherokee Variegated, Rosella purple, that's a dwarf plant. Big beef, Chef's Choice. Now this was a mixed variety or mixed packet of Chef's Choice orange, purple, red, and yellow, I think. Unfortunately, from 15 seeds on that packet, only 2 sprouts. So I've got 2 plants. This is one of them. The other one is still very small because it was like a third attempt. And this was a second attempt to sprout those seeds. That's why it's smaller than the bigger ones. Yeah, Chef's Choice something. Another Cherokee Variegated, Black Beauty, Thornburns Terracotta, Berkeley Tie-Dye, Riesentraub. It's a German variety. It's kind of a bushy plant. Cherry tomatoes, very nice, and it has done well in this spot, so I'll keep planting it here. I put some canes here to support the plants until I can make the trellis structure. The trellis structure will be made out of galvanized tube. I will have 3 meter sections which I will drive into the ground, maybe about 50-60 centimeters. That will leave me 2.3 meters tall structure, and then on top I will put a cross beam in which I will drill some holes to run some galvanized wire and then attach the strings so that the plants can climb. I will do that soon. I guess I'll probably have about at least 2-3 weeks, maybe a bit more, before I have to do that, but if I can do it sooner I will. But the first thing I have to do is the irrigation system, and but that's for another video. I know that you're probably used to seeing really nice and perfect plants and everything going well on other channels, but well, here I will always show you what really happens. Hopefully more success stories than not, but I will still show you all the failures, because I think we can all learn with our mistakes. And if you want to see if it was worth giving these weaklings a chance, well, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, now I need to set up the irrigation system. This here was for the sprinklers for the old lawn, so this needs to be removed. And that one over there was for, indeed, for the tomato plants. But the bed has been shifted at least a foot this way, so I might have to reposition that. And I will show you that on a separate video. For now, that's all I've got time for, guys. See you soon.